What up? Long time no see, man. It's just hard to really make a video right now. So for my Miata viewers, if you guys are wondering how the Miata is doing, this is unfortunately how it looks right now. And I know if you have a Miata, this definitely makes you sad because this is one of the rare non-rusty Miatas. So this is definitely just my fault. I really just need to buy like a $50 cover. It's gonna snow for the next like 4 days too, so like I don't even know when this is just gonna have no snow on it, honestly. So this definitely makes me pretty sad. I want to get a car wash. Once there's no snow on it, I'm getting a car wash. But like, even if I digged it out, it's not like I could take it outside because this is wild. Then for my Pokemon homies, as we all know, stock is literally impossible unless you get there at 8 a.m. and then you have to wait online, and no one's doing all that. So I do have more Facebook pickups, more eBay pickups coming very soon. And then we have the star of today's video. So a couple days ago, I had to renew my insurance, and then at that point I realized, oh crap, like I've had the K-Truck for about 6 months now. So what we're gonna do in today's video is kind of just do like a 6-month overview of how much money I've put into it since, the pros, the cons, have I broke down, and just like an overall 6-month ownership review. And I also have 2 questions for my K-Truck homies. So for a day like this where it's like, you know, 30-40 degrees out, the K-Truck idles extremely high. Is that just because, you know, it's kind of adapting to the cold? Because right now it's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's pretty silent. It's not as bad as when it first starts off. When it first starts, it's pretty vicious. Question number 2 is, what spark plugs do you guys use? Well, first question is that normal? Like, is that just a normal thing? To me, it's pretty normal. I mean, I checked the vacuum lines. I actually changed the 3 vacuum lines that were back here. I guess you could say under the hood. I changed those, and then I was gonna change a couple that were near where the 4-wheel drive light connects down here, but they looked pretty fine, so I didn't change those. And then question number 2 was, what spark plugs do you guys use? Because I've seen a couple answers on like forums and Reddit and all that other stuff, so I'm kind of just curious because I don't really want to use the wrong one. All right, so let's get into the video now. Step 1 is we're gonna get a car wash. So in this situation, what would you guys do? Would you let them move it, or should I go back in the car and be like, nah, let me just move it? Because I'm pretty sure they know how to drive stick. It's just with their left hand. All right, we got the K-Truck fresh out the wash, nice and clean. I've been having a lot of fun with this thing in the snow, so I'm happy that it's nice and clean now, although it is going to snow again in a couple days allegedly. But look at this interior. I can't believe I was thinking about changing the steering wheel to like something like a Nardi or something. Like it just makes the car look original and nice. But now let's drive to Home Depot. So before we even get into like money or pros and cons or anything like that, we have to kind of get into my head and see what even possessed me to buy the K-Truck in the first place. So if you've been following the channel, I initially wanted a Unos Roadster, which is basically just a right-hand drive Miata. And I went to South Carolina. I went there, I had money on me and everything, and I was gonna buy it, but it just wasn't in the best condition. I made a video about it if you guys want to watch that. And then the ones that were in better condition were automatic, so I didn't feel like doing a manual swap and dealing with all that. So I was like, eh. And then in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? I'm building a brand right now. I'm building a business. Like, do I really want to put into like, do I really want to buy a car for like, let's say $8,000-$9,000 or even like $7,000? That's just really gonna be a money pit, because we all know like Miatas are like, not even to make a pun, but you know how like just Miatas are like cars, or like cars like that in general. I'm gonna want to do more. I'm gonna want to, you know, put a turbo in it. I'm gonna want to spend money on flying Miata. I'm gonna want to put wheels on it. I'm gonna want to do this, buy carbon fiber, that. And that's just the kind of person I am. So I knew that there was no way I was just gonna have a stock slow Miata for long. So I was like, that's really not the best decision, seeing how I'm in debt and I'm kind of like trying to build a brand and stuff. So anyways, after that, I was like, you know what? Let me not do that. Is there a way that I can get a right-hand drive car that will benefit Way Before the Fame and still make me happy? So it's like the best of both worlds. And then I learned about K-Trucks. Honestly, I had no idea what a K-Truck was. Like, I knew what it looked like. I knew what little Japanese trucks look like, because like I'm into JDM stuff. I love Japan. Like, that's like my dream place that I have to go this year, by the way. There's a really big roadblock there, so I lost my train of thought. But like I was saying, is there a way that I can get a right-hand drive car, or like a car in general that kind of combined the both worlds? And then I was like, oh crap, K-Truck. So then I was on Duncan at first, Duncan Imports in Virginia, and I was like, oh wow, they got a bunch of K-Trucks. They're only like 5 Gs, or I get a Honda Beat. Those are only like 4 or 5 Gs too, much cheaper than a Unos Roadster, and I kind of still get to combine my best of both worlds. So initially I was gonna get a Honda Beat, but I was like, they're kind of smaller than Miatas, slower than Miatas. And I guess they're cool, but like, I'm not really a huge fan of Honda Beats. So then I started seeing a bunch of K-Trucks, and I was like, wow, I wonder like, what could I do? And then I remember Jack from HP Logic, he had a, I think he had a Subaru or Suzuki, whatever. He had a K-Truck. And I remember he put like HP Logic on the side, and he had like the HP huge logo here. And I was like, that's a good idea. Because technically I can use this to like flex, go to car shows and stuff like that. Seeing how just I'm into cars in general. And then I could also use it to like put a bunch of merch back there. I can use it to, that's really it, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't used it that much to like actually benefit WayBeforeTheFame besides like promo. Putting WayBeforeTheFame on the side and stuff like that. So then I was like, all right, let me do some research, because I see carries, I see jumbos, sandbars, all this other stuff, and I was like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. So I started watching videos, and I watched this guy's video. So shout out to you, because you definitely helped me a lot on my K-Truck research. And then I was like, all right, let me see if I can find one close. So the closest one that I thought was Duncan, because I didn't really see anything else. And I was like, damn, do I really want to go back to Virginia? So I started doing more research. And then I found this truck on eBay. And I was like, oh wow, the guy's in Jersey. Let me just start bidding. And then I was like, oh crap, this guy is right there in Patterson. That's like an hour away. Let me just go. Like, I won't buy this truck, but let me just go in general and see what they got. And that's when I made that video. All these videos are actually documented, which is pretty cool. So you can go to my channel and see, like, I just bought my first JDM car or whatever. So yeah, I went there, met Amir, everything worked out fine, and I was like, yo, would you take 5 G's? And he was like, you know what, yes. I think he wanted like 55 or something like that. I don't really remember too much. It's definitely in the video though. And then it worked out fine. He delivered it to my house for $5,000 flat. It didn't have the title, which to me, at the time, I didn't care. He was like, I have the import papers, go to the DMV, get it done, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, all right, cool. So then I go to the DMV, and then that's a long story, but I don't get that done for like 2 months. Like, they keep telling me I need to do this. So I got the car weighed, and then I would send it again, and I would get declined, I kept getting declined over and over. So I was like, all right, what else can we do? And then Amir was like, want to do a title transfer? And I was like, cool. Did a title transfer, got my title, and it was 1, 2, 3. It was simple as ever. So like, although it took me a long time to get my title and to get my registration and all that stuff, it could have been much quicker if I would have just initially like just did the title transfer on the day I bought it. But I was like, there was some guys showing love right there. See what I mean? It's just a magnet. You guys know if you have a K-Truck though, this thing is a magnet, especially at Home Depot. Like, I was looking like I'm about to do a bunch of stuff. So anyways, fast forward now, I got my title, my truck has been fine, and that's kind of like an overview of why I got the K-Truck. Basically, I wanted a vehicle for my business. That's why I'm gonna be selling it in like March or April or May, around there. We'll see what happens, because like, I don't really need this purchase. Like this, this is cool and all, this is cool, and I'm pretty sure it has made me a couple dollars, you know what I mean? But if I were to sell this for like $6,000, $7,000, I would invest that into WayBeforeTheFame, and I could probably make 10. You know what I mean? The truck was kind of just like a promo thing. I'm not saying that I wouldn't get another K-Truck, or I wouldn't get a van next and maybe wrap the whole thing and do something super cool. I'm leaning more towards a van, because living in NYC, like, it's cool to have a 2-seater. I have the Miata, that's a 2-seater, and I'm kind of used to the 2-seater life. But I have friends, and I know that it would be dope to have, like, you know, 4 people in the car, because I don't think you could fit 5 people comfortably in a van. But that's kind of just an overview of like why I got the K-Truck. I always knew I was gonna sell it. Like, it was never like a long purchase for me. It was kind of like a reason to motivate me to do YouTube videos also, which just, if it wasn't for this truck, I wouldn't have 500 subscribers. I wouldn't have anything. Like, it was like, all right, I'm gonna get this truck, and I'm gonna just do things that I always do, but now I'm gonna make videos about it. So yeah, that's basically like my general backstory of how I got the truck. I don't think I ever explained this to anybody, but that's why I got it, and that's why we're here. All right, so we're making a quick stop at Home Depot for some good old salt, and I could probably do this in a Honda Beat or a Unos Roadster, but not as easy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get the interior dirty or nothing. Simply just drop this down, and we got 3 packs of salt back there. But let's get back into more things that I like, dislike, and money when it comes to this K-Truck. So like I said, I got the truck for $5,000. Money I put into it. I put this radio in myself. I think this Pioneer radio, which is a very good radio, especially for this K-Truck, because as you see, it doesn't stick out. It almost looks OEM. You can't even tell that it's an aftermarket radio at first look. That radio was like $100. We sound dead and everything, so we did that. We did all down here. We did under the seats. That, I believe, in total was like $70. We did this, and this, the bed liner, for 2 things of paint brushes, and it's really just time. That's really all it comes down to. This is only like maybe less than $100. Wheels, luckily Amir had these at the shop. Someone bought a truck and they didn't want them, so he just gave them to me. Can't even thank him enough for how much that like has changed the way the truck look, handles and everything, because these are 13s. But that was free, so luckily. And then I kind of just spray painted this, if we want to count that. Spray painted those two things, that was like $12. And that's kind of it. I haven't really done anything. I got an oil change. I never changed the spark plugs, which is why I want to do that very soon. And that's it, really. I'm trying to really think. I didn't do anything else to the truck. Oh, I bought tires. The tires, I think, were like $450. They're 175/70 13s. So if we had everything up, my grand total, including like an oil change, that's kind of the only mainest thing I did. I flushed the radiator as well. The only thing I had to do, and the car runs perfectly fine. I have no issues ever. That one time I got stuck in the snow, but that was a 5-second fix of something that I just didn't know about. I had no issues ever. Never broke down, never overheated, never got a nothing ever happened. So in 6 months, my only maintenance issues have been like an oil change and radiator fluid. So let's just say like $50. So if we want to put a grand total of everything, it's been like $750 for everything. And $700 of that was cosmetic. I didn't have to get a radio. I didn't have to like do the bed liner and all that stuff, but it's just stuff I wanted to do. So maintenance wise, this thing has been bulletproof. It hasn't given me any issues, nothing at all, and that I'm very grateful for. So that's a huge pro. And there's really no cons. This really isn't going to be a pros and cons video. That's just like my 6-month overview. Like there's really, I don't really have anything else to say. Like this car is dope. It's a subtle flex. It's one of those things where it's like, I said this in my other videos, it's like this car could be parked next to like a super sick Supra. And actually, Supra's not a really good example because people suck Supra. It's way too hard. But this car could be parked next to a really dope Civic or something, or a really dope 240SX or something like that, right? And people are still gonna look at this and be like, oh wow, that's dope. Because like you kind of see Supras all the time, even if it's just on Instagram. You see like cars like that, but you don't really see K-trucks. And being here, like in New York City, that is, like if I was in Florida, maybe you'll see them more. If I was more like in a remote area where people go like off-roading, you'll see these more. But I've never seen another K-truck if it wasn't at a meet, you know what I mean? Like I've never seen another one. I've seen right-hand drive cars before. I've seen like R33s, R32s, and those are fire. I obviously rather have that than this, but like this is just like a cool, like, you know, you don't really know how much it costs. Like I like the mysterious of it, because like some people think this thing is like $2,000. Like you got a 1991 car, it's a 2-seater, it's small, it's not fast. Like this thing can't be worth a lot of money. And then there's other people that like hit me up and be like, oh wow, how much do these things go for? Like 10, 20,000? And I'm like, bro, I got it for like 5,000. You get one now. They kind of went up a little bit. Like I don't know how much I'm gonna sell mine for. Before we end this video, since I'm kind of doing like an overview of now things that I know 6 months later, things that I would do differently for my next K-truck. If you're thinking of getting a K-truck and you live in like a city like New York where it's kind of congested, what I would have did differently was I would have bought a 5-speed. 4 speeds top out on the highway at like 60 miles per hour. That's like topped out. Like at 60, it's like, all right, like you're really pushing it to go anything over 60. So I would have bought a 5-speed, so it's way better on the highway. My truck didn't have working heat since I bought it, and I don't have AC. I have like the fan that comes like stock with it. I don't know if I would have got one with AC. I mean, I guess it would have been cool in the summertime, but like the windows are so huge that like just having the windows out makes a big difference. Another thing I would add to the list is that if I were to get another K-truck, I don't think it would be a Hijet, maybe a jumbo, but I drove a Sandbar and it drives completely different. It drives like a car. Like you guys see how like bumpy I am? Like New York is, that's all we're about. Like there's salt all over the roads, the streets suck, there's potholes everywhere. So I would have got a Sandbar because the Sandbar feels way better. It's heavier, so like the bumps aren't as like ridiculous, and it was just a better drive. I wouldn't care to get the supercharged one. I would just get a Sandbar in general. But that's kind of it for like things that I wish I knew if you're thinking about getting a K-truck. But that's kind of it. I have no issues about my Hijet. I mean, it sucks when I'm on the highway, but like luckily I don't live somewhere like Florida where I'm on the highway like I can't really go over 60 anyway. Like there's so many cars. Like maybe if I'm driving late at night, but it isn't like one of those places, you know how Florida has like 5 lanes, or other places have like 5 lanes and people are going like 70, 80, 90, everyone's passing you. In New York, it's really rare that you find a highway where you're able to go like 70 or 80 for a long period of time anyway. So it's not the biggest deal, but there are times where I'm wishing I could just like overpass somebody, or like I'm just like, damn, I'm super slow in my little 3-cylinder car. Thanks for watching. More K-Truck videos coming soon. I definitely want to do those speakers. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, more Pokemon videos coming soon if you're watching this and you're a Pokemon viewer. And I'm going to be going to the shop very soon and making some merch. And I also have a big vlog coming soon. I think I'm going to be driving to Atlanta and Georgia in mid-March. I'm going to maybe collab with Sniper Jones, this girl named Donna Chila. We're going to do a bunch of collabs. I'm going to reach out to some more people as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Peace.